In this article, I will share my tips on how to grow your audience on Pinterest. There are many reasons why you might not be growing on Pinterest. Invisible profile. The first reason why you might not be growing on Pinterest is that your profile is invisible. Now most people tend to think of Pinterest as a social media platform, whereas they should be thinking of it as a search engine. Your Pinterest profile is to Pinterest while your website is to Google. This means that if your profile is not sending the right signals or the right ranking factors for the search engine that Pinterest is, then you're not going to be discovered on Pinterest. As a result, you're not going to grow either in followers or even in traffic. Here's what you can do about that. Make sure that your profile has a business name or a brand name that is associated with the business or the website that you have. If you don't have a website, you can just stick to your name as a personal brand. Optimize your profile with keywords. The second thing you need to ensure is that your profile showcases the most important keywords that will help your ideal audience find you on Pinterest. This means identifying exactly what your niche is and how you can reach your target audience by focusing on 3 to 5 specific keywords. So for example, if you are a business that is all about personal development and you focus on self-confidence, then these are keywords that must be featured in your profile. Not only should your business name as well as your bio on your profile be keyword optimized, but you also want to make sure that you have a high-quality account that is only pinning content which links to a solid high-quality website. Claim your website on Pinterest. You also want to make sure that you have verified your website, which means you have claimed your website or your domain on Pinterest, as well as connecting any social media channels that you might have on Pinterest as well. This allows Pinterest to understand exactly who you are as a content creator or website owner and what you bring to the table. The more legitimate and high quality your profile is, the faster your account is going to grow. Average content. The next reason why you're not growing your audience on Pinterest is one of the most important reasons that I'm going to share with you today. Your content is average. If you're adding a lot of spammy links to your website, or you're saving content from creators that are not exactly high quality, then that will affect the growth of your account and make Pinterest think that your profile is not legitimate. Now there are billions of pins that are uploaded every single month on Pinterest. Why should people be clicking on your pins over anyone else's? Think of Pinterest as a search engine. When you think of Pinterest as a search engine, you got to think about what it is that you are offering through your content. These are your pins for them to click on and find you and follow your account. Why should people be buying your products and services over someone else's? What is it that is unique about your brand and business that should attract people to your account on Pinterest? Now when it comes to your content on Pinterest, what I mean here is the pins that you're creating act as the major form of currency on Pinterest. This means the better your pins, the higher the chance that you are going to rank on Pinterest as well as grow your account. Aspects of pin design. Now when it comes to the content that you create or the pins you're creating, there are 2 different aspects to it. The first aspect is the visual or the design aspect. Now that is all about creating things that Pinterest loves, which means creating vertical pins with high quality images with a call to action, as well as making sure that you're giving people a reason to click. All about subject matter. The second aspect of creating stellar content is all about the subject matter. So what is the topic that your pin relates to? Are you creating a product pin? Are you creating a blog post? What is that blog post going to help your reader achieve? So when you're creating content on Pinterest, you always have to think about the person who is going to be clicking through to that pin. When people don't click through to your pin, you do not get traffic. You do not get followers, which means your account doesn't grow. Create visually appealing pins. Firstly, when it comes to creating stellar content that helps your account grow, you're gonna have both of these 2 aspects in place. This means that you need to be creating visually appealing pins. Your target audience will want to stop the scroll and click through to your pin. Secondly, your subject matter or what your pin is all about needs to also be interesting enough for that person to click through. A couple of ways that you can do this is to make sure that you are creating very actionable content. Very specific and beneficial for your ideal audience. List-based posts. Some of the things people love on Pinterest include list-based posts such as 25 ways to eat healthy or 45 recipes that you can cook for your children and so on. How-to strategy. Another thing that people love on Pinterest is figuring out how to or hacks or tutorials. This means that if your content falls into one of the categories where you can offer these types of content formats, you can keep your audience for long. Make sure to test and try them out and see if your audience resonates with them. The key here is to make sure that not only are you creating pins that are appealing to your reader, but you're also creating content that is appealing to your reader as well. The only way for you to win, in the long run, is by creating awesome content that your audience cares about and wants to read about. This will help to grow your audience on Pinterest. Are you only using image pins? The third reason why you might not be growing is that you're only using image pins. Now image pins are pretty much the standard pins that you must have seen across Pinterest, which is just a basic graphic that you can click on and it takes you somewhere on the internet. However, for the last few years, Pinterest has released video pins and is now heavily pushing content that falls in this category. Now one of the reasons why Pinterest is doing that is because they want their users to stay longer on the platform and engage within the platform. When Pinterest is figuring out whether or not to rank your profile as a high-quality profile and to push it out to more people on the platform, it's looking at how many people are engaging with your content. There can be various types of engagement on the platform, including link clicks, impressions, close-ups, save, as well as video plays. When you upload video pins, you also allow Pinterest to believe that you are keeping users on the platform engaged. This means that they should be showing your content to a wider audience and putting it out to more people. Now there are so many different types of content formats that you can experiment with on Pinterest besides just the image pins and the video pins. Story pins. You also have story pins that are in beta right now, which you may or may not have access to, but other than that, you can also be creating product pins where you tag your products. Carousel pins. You can be creating carousel pins where you have more than one pin on the particular pin format, so you can showcase multiple photos of the same pin to engage your users a bit more. The idea here is not to stick to just one content format because that limits your reach and your audience. Now bear in mind that video pins and story pins don't necessarily help you bring a lot of traffic because it's a little bit harder to click through and find the website in these formats. However, what they do is expand your reach and the number of people you're reaching on Pinterest. This means you're going to get more followers in the long run. Once you have more followers, you have more impressions of your existing pins and eventually more traffic. Types of content format. So don't just think about what pins are going to drive traffic to your account. Also think about the types of content formats you can experiment with, that is going to increase the number of followers and the reach that you can have on Pinterest. These techniques will help you in the future when you're posting content. It reaches a wider audience organically. One of the most common reasons why you do not do well on Pinterest could be because you're not playing the long game. Pinterest is not magic wand. Even though Pinterest is faster than Google or maybe even YouTube as a search engine, it does not mean that it is magic. It does not mean that if you start posting pins today you're going to start getting traffic and traction tomorrow. Now, as much as we would want to believe that is the case, and much as we would love for that to happen, it rarely ever happens that way. Sure, you might hit it off with one or two viral pins here and there, and you might use one of these hacks to get a little bit of traffic, but to build a consistent platform following as well as traffic from Pinterest, you do need to give yourself a little bit of time. You might have known people who have started their Pinterest accounts like last week. They've posted 5 or 8 times and they're wondering why they're not growing their audience. Well, here's the thing. You're not going to grow on Pinterest by posting just for 1 week 5 to 8 times. You're gonna have to do this for the next 3 to 6 months. Do it consistently, patiently, and with an actual strategy to see growth on Pinterest. Be consistent. More than ever, consistency is the queen on Pinterest, and the reason is pretty simple. Pinterest wants its users to stay for as long as possible and engage with high-quality content on their platform. This should not be just content that was created years ago, but fresh content that is valid right now. So if you want to be a long-term content creator who benefits from the organic reach on Pinterest, you want to make sure that you have a consistent strategy of showing up on Pinterest every single week and every single month for the next 3 to 6 months. By being consistent with your content publishing on Pinterest, you will start to see the traction that you're looking for. Have a little bit of patience when it comes to growing your Pinterest audience, because even though it is faster than other platforms, it is not magic and it's not going to happen overnight. Final thoughts. Let me hope that you have learned something from this article which you can implement in your business so that you can grow your audience on Pinterest. Not only to grow your audience, but to grow an engaged audience who will be ready to buy your products or services. If you think that this article is worth sharing, please help me out by hitting the share buttons below for others to benefit from it as well. Thank you for reading this article to the end, and I look forward to seeing you again and again.